learning English in a natural way. Hello, everyone! Today, I want to share something important with you that can really help you sound more natural and feel more confident when learning English. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And if you find this episode helpful, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. Every single one means a lot to us and really supports our work. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to explain everything in a simple way. You can even repeat after me and practice by shadowing. Let's get started! Why listening changes everything. Many people try to learn English for years, but they still feel uncomfortable when they speak. They know grammar rules. They can read texts. They can write sentences, but when they hear real English, they feel lost. And when they try to speak, they stop, think, and feel nervous. This happens because they learn English in a way that is not natural. If you really want to understand English and speak more easily, you need to change how you learn. One of the most important things you can do is focus on listening and understanding first. Let's explain this idea clearly and in detail. How we learn our first language. Think about how you learned your first language as a child. You did not study grammar books. You did not memorize vocabulary lists. You did not sit in a classroom. You listened. Every day, you heard people speaking around you. Your parents, your family, other people. You heard words again and again. At first, you did not understand anything. But slowly, your brain started to connect sounds with meaning. For example, when someone said eat, you saw food. When someone said sleep, you saw someone going to bed. When someone said your name, you understood they were talking to you. This is how your brain learned language, through listening, context, and repetition. Your brain already knows how to learn a language. Here is something important. Your brain already knows how to learn a language. You have done it before. You are already fluent in your first language. That means your brain has the ability to learn language naturally. That ability does not disappear when you become an adult. But many people stop using this natural system. Instead, they try to learn English like a school subject. They focus on rules, exercises, and tests. This can help a little, but it is not enough for real communication. If you want to understand real English and speak more easily, you need to use your brain in the same way you used it as a child, by listening a lot and understanding meaning. Why listening is so important. Listening is the foundation of language learning. If you don't understand what people say, you cannot have a real conversation. Imagine this situation. You meet someone. You say something in English. They answer you, but you don't understand their answer. Now what happens? You feel confused. You feel nervous. The conversation stops. This is the problem many learners face. They learn how to speak a little, but they don't understand spoken English well. Real communication is not only speaking. It is understanding and speaking together. That is why listening is so important. Understanding comes before speaking. There is a simple truth that many learners ignore. You must understand a language before you can speak it well. Think again about children. A small child can understand many words and sentences before they start speaking clearly. For example, a child understands "come here" before they can say it. A child understands "give me the toy" before they can say a full sentence. Understanding comes first. Speaking comes later. This is natural. This is normal. If you try to speak too early without enough listening, you will struggle. You will feel slow, unsure, and uncomfortable. But if you listen a lot, your brain will prepare you. When you are ready, speaking will become easier and more natural. What happens when you listen a lot? When you listen to English regularly, something interesting happens in your brain. At first, you hear sounds. It feels difficult. You may not understand much. But if you continue, you start to recognize common words. You begin to understand phrases. You notice patterns in sentences. You understand meaning without translating. This is very important. Instead of translating every word into your own language, your brain starts to understand English directly. For example, when you hear "I'm hungry," you don't think of translation. You just understand the feeling. This is the beginning of fluency. Learning through context. Context means the situation around the words. Context helps you understand meaning even if you don't know every word. For example, imagine you hear this sentence while watching a video. He's opening the window because it's very hot. Even if you don't know the word opening, you can guess the meaning because you see the window. You see the person moving it. You hear hot. Your brain connects these things and understands the meaning. Another example. You are in a cafe. You hear chicken tartare. Can I have a coffee, please? Even if you do not know every word, the situation helps you understand. This is why listening with context is powerful. It helps your brain learn naturally. The power of repetition. Repetition means hearing something many times. This is not boring. This is how memory works. When you hear a word once, you may forget it. When you hear it 5 times, you start to remember it.
When you hear it 20 times, it becomes natural.
For example, if you hear "How are you?" many times, you don't need to think. You understand it immediately. Repetition helps your brain. Remember vocabulary. Understand grammar patterns. Feel comfortable with the language. Children learn through repetition all the time. Adults need it too, even if they don't like to admit it. Why traditional learning often fails. Many learners spend years studying English but still cannot speak well. Why? Because traditional learning often focuses on grammar rules, writing exercises, reading texts. These are useful, but they are not enough. In real life, people speak fast. They use different words. They don't follow perfect grammar. If you only study books, you are not prepared for real conversations. That is why many learners feel shocked when they hear native speakers. It sounds too fast. It sounds unclear. The problem is not your intelligence. The problem is the method. The problem with thinking too much. When you don't listen enough, you try to build sentences in your head before speaking. You think. What is the correct grammar? What word should I use? Is this sentence right? This takes time. While you are thinking, the conversation moves on. The other person is already speaking again. This is stressful. Fluency means speaking more automatically. Not perfectly, but naturally. And automatic speaking comes from listening a lot. Listening helps you speak naturally. When you listen regularly, your brain stores patterns. For example, I don't know. What do you mean? That sounds good. I think so. You don't need to build these sentences. You remember them as whole pieces. Then, when you speak, your brain uses these patterns quickly.
This is how fluent speakers talk.
They do not build every sentence from grammar rules. They use patterns they have heard many times. How much listening do you need?
There is no magic number, but consistency is key.
If you listen every day, even for 20 to 30 minutes, your English will improve. It is better to listen a little every day than a lot once a week. Your brain needs regular exposure. Think of it like exercise. One long workout once a month will not help. Small, regular practice works better. What should you listen to? You should listen to English that you mostly understand. If it is too easy, you will not learn much. If it is too difficult, you will feel lost. A good level is when you understand about 70% to 80%. That means you understand the general idea. You miss some words, and that's okay. This is the perfect level for learning. Examples of good listening practice. Here are some simple ways to practice listening. 1. Listen to a short audio many times. Just listen. First time, just listen. Second time, try to understand more. Third time, notice new words. Each time, your understanding improves. 2. Listening with subtitles. Watch videos with English subtitles. Listen first. Read the subtitles. Listen again. This helps you connect sound and text. 3. Daily listening routine. Create a daily habit. For example, morning, 10 minutes listening. Afternoon, 10 minutes listening. Evening, 10 minutes listening. Simple but powerful. 4. Listen to real situations. Listen to conversations like shopping, ordering food, asking for directions. These are useful in real life. Be patient with yourself. Learning through listening takes time. At first, it feels slow. You may think you are not improving. But your brain is working in the background. One day, you will notice. You understand more.
You react faster.
You feel more confident. Progress is not always visible immediately. Mistakes are normal. You will not understand everything. That is normal. You will make mistakes when you speak. That is also normal. Don't try to be perfect. Focus on understanding first. Speaking will improve later. A simple daily plan. Here is a simple plan you can follow. 1. Listen to English every day. 2. Choose content you mostly understand. 3. Repeat the same audio several times. 4. Don't translate every word. 5. Focus on meaning. 6. Be patient. If you do this regularly, your English will improve. Your brain is not the problem. It already knows how to learn language. The problem is usually the method. When you focus on listening and understanding, you use your brain in a natural way. Over time, English becomes less of a puzzle and more of a skill. And when that happens, speaking no longer feels like a test. It feels like communication, which, surprisingly, is the whole point.